So we're now in 2024, and I'm pretty pumped about this year because I've got two main projects that I'm working on. So you can see the first one right here, the Serenity EA. So this is a new strategy. It's a lot like the Comeback Kid. The Comeback Kid, I feel like, is one of my best strategies I've ever produced. It trades the trend, it looks for pullbacks within that trend, and trades multiple pairs with the same exact settings. And that's why I feel like this strategy is really solid. And I wanted to build something very similar that could trade multiple pairs with the same settings and look for a very particular setup within the trend that doesn't happen very often. So that's why we trade a lot of different pairs looking for that particular setup. And that's what the Serenity does. And it actually produces less drawdown than the Comeback Kid, at least in backtest. And so it's shaping up to be a really good strategy. You can see the account here since 11/17 of 2023 has produced 3% profit with really low drawdown of just 0.28%. The plan here is to release this strategy later on this year. It produces a profit of around 2 to 4% monthly using its default settings. So my next project is probably the one I'm most excited about in 2024. So it has to do with my personal trading account here. And I've been using my algorithms and also manual traded setups as well on this account to produce this kind of profit. So the new strategy that I'm working on is a support and resistance strategy of my own development. And you can see that I produced 27% profit in the month of December. And you can actually see how much profit that is, almost $8,500. And the idea here, it was to just take what the market was giving me. And that ended up being 27%. So I'm not saying that I'm going to be able to produce 27% all the time using this strategy, but it's showing really good potential. So I actually recorded some of these videos showing the trades that I took using this type of strategy and how I was able to produce $20,000 in 1 month using it. And so I decided to ask my developer, hey, can you develop this strategy into an indicator so I can put it into an algorithm or make it into an indicator so it's easier to see the support and resistance levels? And he was able to do it. And look at this. This is really crazy. So this shows you all of the levels. Now you might be confused, but what you want to be focusing in on is the thicker the line, the more significant the level. And you can actually see the numbers here on the right side showing you how many times the support and resistance levels have been hit. The higher the number, the more significant the level. So if you go into the settings, you can see that we're pulling the support and resistance off of the daily time frame. This is all price action technique as well. So history bars is 2000, so that goes back quite a few years. And that's why we're able to pull these levels. And we're able to see way more data than what's typical in the retail space. So support and resistance levels that were hit years back. This is very difficult to do as a retail trader. And so it allows us to see things that most retail traders aren't capable of seeing because they just don't have enough data. So look at this, for example, the level 6 up here at the top. This level was hit and just barely touched and then had a significant pullback of hundreds of pips on the EU. All right, so you can see that this level was broken right at this point and price went right through it and had basically one candle that broke through all the levels. This was the beginning of the new year. Strange action happens at the beginning of each new year, but you can see how that level was reacted to in the past. And we call these zones. So when there's a lot of solid lines that are close together, this is a zone. And how we trade this is basically trade 1, trade 2, trade 3, and significant pullback. Okay, and you can see that that same level was reacted to again here. This level of 3 at where price is currently was reacted to, bounced right off of it and went back up. And if you actually go into zoom in a little bit, you can see how price is behaving and how it gives you hints on when it might break these levels as well. So for example, it broke through, candle closed above both these two levels and had a little bit of a pullback, but look at the wicks of the candles and the body. The body never closed below this level and continued back up. Next H1 candle closed above, had a small pullback, but made a new higher low and continued back up and produced another high and went way up after that. All right, so you can see that how we trade this is, for example, what about this level right in here? This is a news candle, so it would be a good idea to not take any trades when there's huge news events like FOMC going on and wait for this move to be exhausted when the next level of support, major key level of support and resistance happens right in here. And that's exactly what I did. You can see right in here. And again, this is recorded in my recent videos. And if I zoom in a little bit, you can see the trades that were taken right up here at the top. And I was drawing my levels of support and resistance manually. And now since this indicator does it automatically, it's way easier to see these levels and the importance of them. All right, so you can see my block of trades here coming down and closing out for a realized profit. All right, so this is a really powerful strategy. So you can see that there are so many ways to profit with this indicator. Block of price right here, same one that was right here. Significant pullback right in this zone right here. So the first trade right here went down against it. Second trade at the bottom had a major pullback. There's easily 30 to 50 pips can be made at these levels. Trade 1, trade 2, trade 3, boom, right? And then trade 4, or even a new trade right here that had a significant pullback. And you can also trade the dotted lines as well. They are levels that have been only hit once or twice, but you can see here, news event happening right in this block of price, and wait for that news event to be done, wait for the next day for price to be exhausted and to hit the next key levels of resistance, and then that pullback. Same thing here, pushes through and we hit this new level of resistance and significant pullback, and again there. All right, so there are so many ways to use this strategy, and you can actually see my results when I was drawing my levels of support and resistance on gold. So I saw that this level was going to likely have a reaction, and this was during FOMC, and this is the video that I showed you right in here. So this video where I recorded this live, and it shows that my auto drawing support and resistance indicator is showing that level as being a key level as well, and that's done automatically without me even having to lift a finger, which is so cool. So guys, this indicator is really powerful. I don't know what to do with it yet. I'm going to try a bunch of different things because I think that it's best used manually. I want to teach people how to trade using fundamental analysis, because when there's a news release that happens, it's not always a good idea to be in the market, to wait for that news release to be exhausted before taking trades, likely the next day. Anyway, thanks for watching, everybody. I really look forward to 2024 and these new projects. Catch you guys on the next one.